Hello and welcome. I am Lady Calamere. I am doing my 186th presentation, and it will be on the goddess Yami, also called Yamuna, and she's also known as Kalindi. So we have this beautiful card of Yamuna, Yamuna Devi, goddess of purification, and it comes from the gods and goddesses. Mantras, blessings, and meditations by Mandala Publishing, which you could get this at Barnes and Nobles, Amazon.com, eBay, or your local New Age or occult shop. So Yamuna, Yami, who is she? Well, she's not only a goddess, she is also a river. She is the daughter of Surya and Samjana, or Samyana. I'm sorry, Samyana. So she is also the twin of the god of the dead, the Lord of the Dead, Yamaraja, whom she loves very much. And he loves her very much, but in a platonic way. She's also the sister of Vivasvata Manu, or just Manu. And she's also a sibling of Shani and the divine twins Ashvins. So her mount is a tortoise. I don't know why they put a fish here, but it has some meaning. But her most popular mount is a tortoise. She is seen with black skin and holding a blue lotus. Here we see her with 2 arms. Sometimes we see her with more. She is her river, even by the people that worship her with her and use, especially those who are very, very much into Krishna, see her. The water is seen as sacred. Even some would dare say sacred as a Ganga, or even more sacred as a Ganga. She is a main tributary of the Ganga River where they meet up, and you could, if you ever look on video, that you'll see the 2 differences where the Yamuna is dark and the Ganga is more lighter. When they meet, it's like amazing. And the Yamuna is considered very holy water and very sacred. Unfortunately, it is one of the most polluted waters, especially in India. And there was many organizations as well as the government that was more concentrated on cleaning the Ganga water, the Ganges, where other waters like bodies, like the Yamuna, was pretty much ignored. And at one time, you could drink and from the Yamuna, and it was clean. Now, many conservationists have said part of the Yamuna is dead because the oxygen has been depleted in the water, that the fish there just die, or if they've been finding dead fish bodies, and now it's because parts of it is dead. And this is going on because of many factors, some small, some minor, some major, and the agricultural waste, industrial waste, sewage Literal sewage runs off. So when people brush their teeth, take a shower, go to the bathroom, when they flush, it goes into Yamuna. There is also loads amounts of foil, plastic, saran wrap, foil, cellophane, just people garbage. And also, during funerals, the ashes are poured in, and sometimes the bodies are dumped in. And during celebrations, when they dissolve the statues in the water, sometimes they use toxic stuff. And during certain festivals where they throw colored powder into the air, sometimes these are also toxic. So I know there is a temple, a Krishna temple, which is trying to really fight to save Yamuna River, and they will not use any toxic powders. And one of the Punjaris said that this is not Yamuna, this is sewage, and that they were using non-toxic powders, colors, as well as for yellow dye, like instead of powdered dye, they're using turmeric. So anyways, people still use this water they say dipping into the water is a religious and spiritual practices where they dip into it, they pour it on their head. And if you look at pictures of the Yamuna, you'll see this white foam. It looks like ice and snow. It looks like you're looking at the Arctic, and there's loads and loads of big blocks of foam. Just foam, like suds. So we're not talking about foam like you wrap your stuff up. We're talking about foam like it looks like soap suds. It's not snow and it's not ice. This is toxic foam. And during some major celebrations, sometimes the government tries to clean it up real quick because they're embarrassed. But you could still smell the Yamuna, the sewage. And some people were still going into the water, pushing the foam out of the way and dipping themselves into it. And that's their spiritual and religious rights. But this water is toxic. And it's a sad state that they put everything in nature, how we just humans ruin. So there are many stories about how Yamuna came to earth, why she became a river, why is she black skinned. And there's a story about how she becomes Kalindi, and she goes to Mount Kalindi and does penance and austerities and meditations and prayers, because she knew that Vishnu was going to come to earth and she wanted to be with him. So Shiva, when she was a young girl, Shiva blessed her and said, yes, you will be with Krishna. You will become the river. That's one way she became a river. Another way she became a river is that when Surya's brightness was too great for Samjana, she kept closing her eyes. Sometimes he cursed her, or his brightness was just too much, so she left and she made like a clone of herself, where she replicated herself, and she called this replication of herself a clone Chaya, which means shadow. So Yama and Yami were already born, and Chaya, when she had children, she cared more about her own children than she did about, you know, the children that she was supposed to take care of. So she became more like the wicked stepmother. You know, the fairy tales, the wicked stepmother, where she ignored them, she neglected them, or she was very mean to them. And they would get into fights, especially Yama. And they would argue. And one day Yama had enough of her abuse, and he stepped on her or kicked her. And she punished him. Like, she did something to his foot, and she cursed him. And one way how he became the Lord of the Dead through a curse. And when Yami could not be with him anymore, and of course this was a platonic relationship, she cried. Some say she cried so much that she formed the river. Another way how she became the river is that the gods, because Yama and Yami become the first humans, and the gods wanted them to copulate, and Yami wanted to copulate, but Yama, he did not want to have anything other than the platonic relationship with her. That he did not see her as a consort or as a wife. He did not had any sexual desires for her. But he loved her nonetheless. And so when he dies, he sheds his mortal form. He becomes the Lord of the Dead. Yami cries her. When she knew she could not be with Yama even before she died, she turned herself into a river. She cried so much she made a river, and she went into the river, and she becomes the river. Now, despite this, Yama still loves his sister Yami, and Yami loves her brother. So I discussed this love between them in my Yama video. And that's what, during Yama Puja, the brother visits the sister, or the sister visits the brother, and she makes a lunch for him. There's also saying that, the brother and sister going into the river Ganga, or would be blessed. So how does she get a dark skin? Okay, so you know the story of Shiva being a world-renowned a yogi, a tantric. After his, Sati dies, where she immolates herself, she takes her own life because of the insult her father gave to Shiva during a yagna, a fire celebration. He retreats once again. He leaves the world, the created world, and he goes into his, his own world. He meditates. He does austerities. Now, when Sati comes back as Parvati, she tries to gain his attention, but nothing worked. And the gods knew they need Shiva in the world. So to make a long story short, of course, Kama is sent to instill desire into Shiva. And when he does, of course, Shiva gets angry. And the version I know, he, opens his third eye and burns Kama, the Lord of desire and sex and, love, burns him to ashes. And of course, he's brought back later. But, however, now Shiva has this desire. So he gets up from his meditation and jumps into Yamuna River, and which this desire, this darkness comes off him and turns Yamuna's skin black. Yamuna, those who follow Krishna, of course, Yamuna is very sacred and dear to them. Yamuna is considered one of the wives and lovers and devotees to Krishna. And of course, she loves Krishna and wants to be with him. And so she meditates on the earth. She forms herself on the earth to be with him. In Mathura and Vrindavan, the river runs through that, and that's where Krishna grows up at, where he plays with the gopis at, where during the autumn rites he would play his flute and have the gopis play, or where the gopis would play in the river and Krishna would steal the clothes and say, "Come on, get it." This is the place where, Krishna grew up and lived at, and Radha grew up and lived at. And he even saves the people and Yamuna from the hooded serpent monster Kaliya, which was a venomous monster spilling poisons into her river, and in which he is the only one that is capable of either destroying us or taming it. And where he goes into the river and he fights Kaliya and he subjugates Kaliya, and he demands that no longer spread your venom through the people and through the water. He was able to save her from that. So we see that. So, and also another thing interesting is that when Vasudeva was taking baby Krishna away from Kamsa's prison, it was a stormy night and it was raining and the Yamuna was rising. And he took the baby Gopal, baby Krishna, across the river, and the river was rising. And as he was trying to go to Gokula, the river just wanted to rise up and just touch the toe of Krishna. And then she was satisfied, and she let Vasudeva, the father of Krishna, and the baby cross to Gokula. So we see even before the birth of Krishna that Yamuna, Yami, is very devoted to him. In some sects of Buddhism, she is actually the consort of Yama. So like in Tibetan legends and Buddhism, Yami is also the goddess of death and the land of the dead, and she's the consort of Yama. And in this tradition, she rules the female spirits there. However, in Hinduism, she is not the wife of Yama. She is wife of Krishna. So, like I said, her and Yama are twins. She was the one to approach Yama, seeking marriage, seeking love, seeking to have children with him. But he preferred to die childless and rather to committing incest. And of course, like I said, he was a very devoted, very spiritual man, very religious. So her time is definitely, she does deal with nighttime, and her color is black. Yama is the goddess of purification, that one could, you could, one could ideally take a bath or a shower and meditate on Yamuna and pray to Yamuna to purify you. And some people say just even thinking of doing of her and doing this action can help purify you. So we see this card here, what she deals with. Okay. O Yamuna, O daughter of the sun, you are the object of Krishna's love, the sunshine of eternal consciousness and bliss. Your body is the flowing liquid of Brahman. You wash away all the world's sins and bring it auspiciousness. Please purify us. It is for self-purification, joy of divine playfulness, absorption in spiritual truth, attachment to God's personal form. So again, it comes from the gods and goddesses. The Mandala Publishing. Very beautiful cards. I do suggest them if you want to use them for your altar pieces or for meditations or spiritual practices. So when you look at Sri Yamuna, she's one of the 64 yoginis in Hinduism. She is worshipped, Yamuna is also worshipped for success, purification, to help you be creative in life and to have more activity in life, so that your life would not be stagnant. She's to remove stagnation. She's to be used. You could bless your water to Yamuna and think of Yamuna and ask the goddess herself to bless it. And you can use you could use directly from the Yamuna river, or to bless the water and bless your home, to sprinkle it, to bless yourself. Personally, I don't live in India, so I just, use my creative imagination, visualization, prayers, spiritual belief, and of course intentions to turn my water holy and sacred. And with intentions, you can make things happen. And you can use this to remove hauntings from your home, to help break curses and cleanse away curses, to bless crystals and stones and talismans and amulets and your jewelry. So she's used for blessing as well as purifications, to break curses and bad luck, and to disrupt and break up sinister energy. So she originates in the Himalayas, and that's probably the cleanest part of it. Yeah, I believe it would be where it originates. But once it gets through Delhi, that area, it's so polluted. But people still go in it. People still go in it in droves, because it's part of their heritage. It's part of their beliefs. It's part of their spirituality and religion. It's part of their faith. Where the Ganga River I mean, eventually, like I said, if Yamuna goes into the Ganga, but you could tell the difference. And Ganga is faster moving, where the Yamuna is more steady, slow pace. But the Ganga is a lot fast, where, Yamuna, goes, moves at a turtle's pace. She's somber. She's slower. So the puja, the Yamuna Jayanti was celebrated March 27th of 2023. For 2024, it will be on a different date because it follows a lunar calendar. So it will begin on April 13th and ends on April 14th. And this is the day where it's celebrated, especially in the Indian city of Mathura. She's called Yamuna Jayanti as well as Yamuna Chath. And it is her birthday. It marks the birth anniversary of the river. So it will be, like I said, for 2024, mark your calendars, April 13th and April 14th. As for 2023, it already passed in March 27th. So April 14th is going to be falling on a Sunday. So that will be a sacred day. Also, Sundays is also said to be sacred time to work with Yamuna Devi. Krishna adores Yamuna Devi. He always did. He always adored the river. Him and the gopis would always play in it. So, Yamuna can help you remove the old from your life that no longer serves you. The Yamuna can bring success. She can help during times of sadness and depression, and of course, always, if you need to, see a psychiatrist, take the medications you need, but feel free to use faith as well. She is good to help you remove the problems in your life, to remove negative attachments. And to help you during times of doubt and fear. So you can use her to pray to her when bad things are happening and you just need some good advice. She adores darker color flowers. People do give her, they do, the type of lamps, of course, you can't go wrong with ghee lamps, but they also use mustard oil lamps for her. So they would make a lamp using mustard oil for the fuel. Also, she likes sweets and candy. People give her fruits. They give her coconuts. A lot of white foods are good to offer her. So, think along of rice. Sugar canes. she likes that. She likes white candies. You know, just think white chocolate, marshmallows. I mean, some of these are not traditional, but hey, vanilla candies. She likes dried fruits. Also, you know, one of the things you could do for her is to write your government, if you're in India, to say, hey, clean up the Yamuna, to donate to organizations that's going to help. Maybe you can help the places, but please be careful about it. I mean, I know, what does it mean to clean up some garbage? There's so much garbage around the banks of the Yamuna. Well, one person could turn into 3, 3 can turn into 13, 13 can turn into 100. You get the math, right? So we really, you know, sometimes, you know, in some places where it's polluted, it just took an effort of several people, and then it became a whole organization of cleaning up places. You know, sometimes it starts with one person to get things going. Well, that would be another form of worship. There's a saying, don't shit where you eat at. And also, you know, there's also saying, keep it cleaner than when you keep it cleaner. Leave it cleaner than you saw it. You know, pagan gatherings that I've been around, you know, some of them are very conscious and they like to clean it up and make it cleaner when they, you know, before they leave. We have to love our Mother Earth. So far, we don't have another planet to live on, so. And we won't make it there if our earth, if our waters are polluted, and our airs are polluted, and our land is polluted. We won't make it anywhere. We won't even be able to live on the moon, because we'll be fucking dead. The earth will go on, but we'll be fucking dead. So, just something to chew on. So, other things that I want to discuss about her. Is, you know, with her, she can help, you know, purify our attentions. She can help when we want to calm down that ego. She can help when we feel muddled, or we can't concentrate, or we cannot focus. Yamuna can help us to clear out the gibberish in our minds and, you know, the excess garbage that has built up on our shoulders and that are polluting our intentions and keeping us from doing what we need to do. She can clear this. She can help us mentally, emotionally, and physically. And you see her blessings here. She is giving you the fear not mudra, and here she is giving you gifts. She is giving you she's giving you the blessings. She helps us, purifies us where we don't have to fear what's on the other side. She diminishes what, is considered sin in the Hindu faith, and she diminishes the reactions to this sinfulness. Her holy waters are literally the embodiment, the liquid embodiment of Shakti. And Yamuna is the largest tributary of the river Ganga. And so she's also called Jamuna, one of the Jamuna River in Bengali. Yamuna is also a goddess of love par excellence. And she is often referred to the river of love. She is a goddess of exquisite love, and she is a goddess of great compassion and empathy. She is divine love. She is love. She is liquid love. So the source of the Yamuna is from the Yamunotri glacier. So that's on just trying to think, the southwestern slopes of Vanderpook Peaks. So those are like the range of the lower Himalayas. So there's also a Yamunotri temple, a shrine that's dedicated to this goddess, and is considered a very, very, very holy shrine in Hinduism. Yamunotri is famous and is one of the very foremost sacred Hindu pilgrimages sites. Many people from many social backgrounds and from all over, poor, rich, the young, the old, the ignorant, the educated, will go there. So some people will ride horses to get there, although when you're walking, that is considered more auspicious mode of transportation and more dedicated. So in the winter, when there's a lot of snow there, and I know the temple closes down, and the image of this goddess is carried down this mountain in Karsali, where she continues to be worshipped for another 6 months. I just thought I would bring that up. So, like I said, Krishna was taken across the Yamuna River on the night of his birth because of his maternal uncle tried to kill him. And this river is sacred because he was born there. He was born near there and lived near there and grew up near there, where he played with Radha there. So Krishna has a special place in his heart for Yamuna. Yamuna exists in Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna exists in the Yamuna, in the river.
The Bhagavata Purana tells the story of the marriage of Krishna and Yamuna. And when she comes as manifest as in her human form, she is young and she is beautiful. And she's also a woman that's absorbed in deep prayer, meditation, penance, and austerity. In this, when Arjuna meets her, she even tells him who she is and how she desires to marry Krishna. And she even identifies herself as the daughter of the sun, Surya, and that she is Kalindi. So even the Puranas, there's a story of Kaliya, where Krishna subjugates her, and she is a triple. She forms not triple. She is a very poisonous serpent, like a cobra with many, I believe, with several heads. Yamuna flows in 3 directions, so some people like to identify her as a triple goddess or as a triple river. Yamuna is said to flow on earth where she is known as Bhagirathi. And in heaven, that's more going into the Ganga as Mandakini, but so anyways, how long have I been talking? 42 minutes. Wow, it only feels like I've been talking about 15 minutes. Time flies, right, when you're having fun? The Yamuna, is she an approachable goddess? Yes, 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 and yes. She is a loving, approachable goddess. For anyone who wants to get into goddess worship, Yamuna is very approachable and very compassionate and very loving. She can make you fearless towards death. She washes away, you know how they say Catholic, oh Lord, to wash away all the sins of the world? She washes the sins of the world. She purifies us. She makes us ready. She helps us make us whole and realize we are whole. We are whole. But to clean us of spiritual debris. I mean, this water is considered sacred. This water is used for ritual bath and ritual purification, but she is an important river, and she plays a very important role in the socio-economic role. So it is it should be a duty of the Indian government to clean this up, to control the heavy metals that are being, I'm not talking about the music, I'm talking about, poisonous, toxic metals that are being, like lead, being dumped into the environment, causing damage. When I talk about heavy metals, I believe it's also lead that's being, I have no doubt in my mind. So she is Yami. She is Kalindiri. She is Yamuna. She is Yamuna. She is sacred and she is holy. She is a river. She is a goddess. And she lives in Krishna's heart. Is there anything else I want to talk about her? I thought I had some. I don't have notes and I do not have a script, and I'm trying to remember what I wanted to say. I just been so busy. It's also one of the things that she holds is a blue lotus. So blue lotuses are also be cool, or you can get like blue roses, but you know the not natural. I think they can make natural blue roses, but it never grew in nature naturally back in the day. So anyways, I hope you learned something, and I really appreciate everyone. I'm up to 461 subscribers. Yay! Thank you so much for the subscription. Keep subscribing. If you really like my content, subscribe. This is just a goddess statue that I use when I don't, just to represent goddesses. So this is not an image of Yamuna, but is an image of basically generic goddess. Oop, I almost dropped her. That would have been horrible. So hit me up on the comments. I will try to answer you. And here is that my Amber Brahma, my wolf. That right there is my urn to my original Mew Mew. So please like and subscribe. Share my video with your friends and family, and on like-minded people, and on your social media handles. Give me that like button, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It lets me know I'm doing a great job. That's a way to pay me. I do these videos for free. It doesn't cost you a dime. And when I hit a certain amount of subscribers and a certain amount of viewers, I can monetize this channel if I decide to go that route. And if I monetize the channel, it still would not cost you a cent, okay, to watch my video. So continue to watch it. Thank you so much. Oh, also, some things. Please check out my friend's channel, Witch in the Working. It's run by Manon. Check out his stuff. He just did an awesome video on Baphomet. Check him out. Witch and the Workings on YouTube. Also, Braden Timmons. Check that out. He's gonna be coming. He's already coming out with his new movie on Halloween. It's going to be part 2 of he already did a Halloween movie. Let me go get my tablet. Excuse me. Check out his channel. Let me go look it up. YouTube. Really? I didn't ask for an Arizona. I asked for YouTube, and you take me to an article about Braden, B-R-A-D-E-N, Timmons. Braden Timmons. He has the Haddonfield Nightmare. He already did one Halloween show. It's the next chapter in the H2O story, and now he's gonna bring back. He's bringing the final nightmare. He's running. He's doing an Indiegogo campaign to help raise funds for his next movie. So go check that out. There's gonna be a fundraiser. It's gonna be on Indiegogo raising campaign. Let me pull it out. So, anyways, that's his. And let me go look at Witch in the Workings. Witch in the Workings. Witch. Oh, for Christ. Jeez. No, I did not ask for Witcher recap. Witch and the Workings. Oh. So, anyways, this is his site, Witch and the Workings, right there. Witch and the Working. So check that out on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to be going to a concert soon. I'm going to see Obituary, and opening for them is going to be Tribal Gaze and 200 Stab Wounds, and then Obituary. So, woohoo! I'm going to be having fun soon. So anyways, thank you, and as always, blessed be.